Hi, this is Arun. I'm a certified professional coder. I have been helping mental health providers for billing and coding. This video, we're going to see how to pick a correct diagnosis code for mental health billing services. I have few examples for you. If you're using a ICD-10 codebook, you ought to check the DX in the two sections. The first section is the alphabetical index. The next section is the tabular list. Once you find out the correct diagnosis in the alphabetical index, you have to cross-check the diagnosis in the tabular list. This video, I'm going to tell you how to pick up the diagnosis in AAPC. Some people use SuperCoder, some people use other tools, but I'm using AAPC to pick up the diagnosis. The first example I have is anxiety disorder unspecified type. Here, the main term is disorder, so I'm going to check in AAPC as disorder. And I'm going to type disorder as a main term. Under disorder, this is the main term, and anxiety is the subterm. You have to check subterm anxiety. It's intended right from the main term. Anxiety. Since we do not have a more specificity on anxiety disorder, the correct diagnosis is F41.9. Once you confirm the diagnosis, click the diagnosis and read the description. We have anxiety disorder, unspecified type. The correct diagnosis is F41.9. If you have a more specificity in anxiety disorder, like generalized anxiety disorder, mention the main term disorder. Under main term disorder, you have to check anxiety. Under anxiety, we have more specificity. It's generalized. So I'm going to click that plus sign to check another subterm. So under anxiety, we have generalized, right? So I'm going to click this diagnosis to confirm it. Generalized anxiety disorder, the correct diagnosis is F41.1. The next description I have is post-traumatic stress disorder unspecified type. Here the main term is disorder. Under disorder, main term, we have to check the subterm stress. Under stress, we have post-traumatic. Okay, we have post-traumatic. Since we do not have more specificity on this post-traumatic stress disorder, we can choose F43.1. I'm gonna cross-check this diagnosis. Post-traumatic stress disorder, the correct diagnosis is F43.10. The next one I have is major depressive disorder, recurrent mild type. We have more specificity on depressive disorder. So here the main term is disorder. Under disorder, we have to check the subterm depressive. Under depressive, we have more specificity, like what kind of is it recurrent? Okay, we have recurrent, major, all that. So under recurrent, we're gonna choose current episode. Under current episode, you have to check whether it's mild or moderate. Since we have mild, the correct diagnosis is F33.0. Major depressive disorder, recurrent mild type. The correct diagnosis is F33.0. The next one I have is major depressive disorder, recurrent, moderate type. Same thing, we have to check disorder. Under disorder, the subterm is depressive. Under depressive, we have to check recurrent. Under recurrent, we have to check moderate, right? Disorder, under disorder, depressive. Under depressive, we have to check recurrent. Under recurrent, we have to check current episode. Under current episode, we have to check moderate type. I'm going to cross check just one. Major depressive disorder, recurrent, moderate type. The correct diagnosis is F33.1. Next example I have is major depressive disorder, recurrent, severe, without psychotic features. And the next one is severe with psychotic features. This one is the same like the previous one. We have to check disorder, depressive, recurrent. Under recurrent, we have to check with or without psychotic features. I'll walk you through this one. Under disorder, we have to check the subterm depressive. Under depressive, we have to check recurrent. Under recurrent, we have severe without psychotic symptoms as well as with psychotic symptoms. For severe without psychotic symptoms, the correct diagnosis is F33.2. For with psychotic symptoms, we have the diagnosis F33.3. Here we have major depressive disorder, recurrent, severe without psychotic features. The correct diagnosis is F33.2. The next one I have is major depressive disorder, recurrent, severe with psychotic symptoms. The correct diagnosis is F33.3. Okay, and the next one is bipolar disorder type 2. So here the main term is disorder. Under disorder, we have to check bipolar. Then we have to check whether it's type 1 or type 2. Disorder. Under disorder, we have to check bipolar. We have bipolar 1 type here, but we have type 2 here. So I'm going to click this plus sign to check is there anything shows like bipolar 2. Okay, here we have bipolar type 2 disorder. Since we do not have more specificity, I'm going to click this diagnosis, F31.81. Bipolar type 2 disorder, correct diagnosis is F31.81. Next one I have is adjustment disorder, unspecified type. Under disorder, I'm going to click adjustment. Since we do not have more specificity on this, this is the right diagnosis, that is F43.20. I'm going to cross check this. Adjustment disorder, unspecified type. The diagnosis is F43.20. The next one I have is more specific, under adjustment disorder with depressed mood. Under disorder, you have to click adjustment. Under adjustment, you have to click this plus sign with anxiety, depressed mood. I have like depressed mood. So for depressed mood, I have F43.21. I'm going to cross check this one. Adjustment disorder with the depressed mood. Correct diagnosis is F43.21. The next one I have is adjustment disorder with anxiety. We have to check disorder. Under disorder, we have to check anxiety. Adjustment. Under adjustment, we have to check anxiety with anxiety. So the correct diagnosis is F43.22. Adjustment disorder with anxiety. Correct diagnosis is F43.22. Then, what if you get both the anxiety and depressed mood? How do you check that? Adjustment disorder with mixed anxiety. and depressed mode. It's simple. You have to check disorder. Under disorder, you have to check adjustment. Under adjustment, you have to check with anxiety. With anxiety, you have to check depressed mode. I'll walk you through this one. Under disorder, you have to click adjustment. Under adjustment, you have anxiety. Here you can see the plus sign. Once you click the plus sign, it will show you like with depressed mode. So I'm going to click this one to cross check this. Here the correct diagnosis for adjustment disorder with mixed anxiety and depressed mode. The DX is F43.23. The last one I have is reaction to severe stress, unspecified type. The main term here is stress. Under stress, you have to check severe. Here you can see that it also states like see also reaction under stress. The correct diagnosis for severe stress reaction is F43.9. I'm going to click this to cross check this. Here, reaction to severe stress, unspecified type. The correct diagnosis is F43.9. So this way we can check the correct diagnosis for our mental health practices. If you have more doubts, please contact me.